On Friday's Wales at 6. Thousands without water at the height of a heat wave, and the disruption could last till Sunday.
I've been yesterday to take 3 packs of water and everything gone.
I've just had an elderly neighbour who has no water at all.
What a situation. Can we live without water? No.
Also tonight, fresh from the States, it's a return to first-class rugby for Rhys Zammit. But will the Golden Boy save the national side?
Plus, a festival in full swing as Green Man returns. We'll be talking to some of the artists taking to the stage.
And if you're planning on joining Mike there at Green Man or simply looking to, well, take it easy this weekend, guess what? The sun is going to shine. I'll have the forecast for you later in the programme.
Hello, good evening. Thousands of residents in Flintshire remain without water this evening. Work to repair the burst pipe is set to be completed this afternoon, but Welsh Water say it could take until the weekend for everybody's supply to be restored. In the meantime, bottled water stations have been set up across the county. Well, our reporter Ian Lang is at the site of the burst main in Broughton for us this evening. Ian, what's the latest you have?
Well, the good news is that the leak has been fixed, but the not so good news is that some people might not get their supplies back until at least Sunday. But this was a very, very difficult job. These pipes are 16 feet below ground, surrounded by other utilities. But the thing is, they supplied around 17 communities, including 2 hospitals and 20 care homes. So the disruption has been absolutely immense. Fixed at last. The burst water main in Broughton, which saw taps run dry in large parts of Flintshire over several days amid a heat wave. Thousands of homes and businesses were affected, but this afternoon Welsh Water said repairs had been completed. But customers will still have to wait for their water supplies to return as this vast system needs to be refilled, so disruption could last for another 48 hours. Welsh Water set up several bottled water stations and also delivered bottled water to their most vulnerable customers. People picking up supplies today were patient but exasperated. What's it been like with you, with water?
No good.
How long have you been off?
2 days.
2 days?
I've got autistic son, see? So he's taking bath more often than we do, so I've been yesterday to take 3 packs of water and everything gone.
What's it been like?
It's been hard. This is the toilet situation, having young kids, on summer holidays. It's been difficult.
What a situation. Can we live without water? No. So it proves, doesn't it?
Has it been tough?
It's been really incredibly tough. I have managed to source water elsewhere, which I've been handing out to elderly residents that live in the street that can't get out. So, yeah. I've come into mould on the off chance because I'm going to my daughter's to get a shower.
So people are suffering?
Yeah, very much so. I've just had an elderly neighbour who has no water at all, and thankfully I managed to give him a case that I had at home.
The companies say they are sorry and compensation will be paid automatically to customers.
So once the repair's complete, which is just about now, then we start refilling the system. So some customers will start to see supplies return overnight, the majority through tomorrow. The customers at the far ends of the system, where it takes water longer to get to them, will be Sunday, but we should have all customers on supply by the end of play on Sunday.
But at least the end to this unwanted disruption is in sight. And just to talk a little bit about compensation, £30 for every, this is for ordinary householders, £30 for every 12 hours, and people complain for a loss of income. For businesses, it's £75 for every 12 hours, and they can claim for loss of income. So bursts like this are expensive as they are unfortunate. And one final irony, really, none of the houses on this estate have actually lost their water, but they will be glad to see the back of this work.
Ian Lang in Broughton, thanks very much indeed. An investigation has been launched into the death of an inmate at Swansea Prison after claims by his mother that her son was mistreated while on remand. Nicola Palmy from Porth says prison officials told her that her son Kian died after attempting to take his life in his cell in July this year. Dean Thomas Welch has this exclusive report.
Nicola Palmy visits her son every day at the Chapel of Rest.
I get comfort out of it because, well, it's the only time I can be with him. And I'm petrified when it comes to the moment I can't be with him anymore because I have to lose him all over again.
In July this year, Kian Palmy from Porth was found unresponsive in his cell at Swansea Prison. The 22-year-old was rushed to hospital but died 5 days later. Her son's death has devastated Nicola.
He's a mammy's boy. He told me everything. He's my best friend as well. He's just full of life. Do anything for anyone. Go above and beyond. And, well, just life ain't the same anymore. It's like the day I lost him, I lost me as well.
Nicola says she was told by prison staff that Kian's fatal injuries were caused by him attempting to take his own life in his cell. She says she doesn't believe the official account of what happened to her son, claiming she believes he was mistreated. She says her evidence for this is a letter she received from Kian 2 days before he sustained his fatal injuries.
I just want to say the day I get out, everyone will see a whole different version of me. I'm here to better myself. And he asks me to get all the boys' phone numbers as well.
Kian Palmy appeared at Merthyr Magistrates Court in the days before his death, charged with one offence of stalking without causing fear, alarm or distress. He was remanded in custody to appear again at Merthyr Crown Court later this month. While at HMP Swansea, Nicola claims staff left Kian alone in his cell despite it being his first time in prison. She also says she believes the injuries sustained by her son are not typical of injuries suffered by someone who attempted to take their own life.
For all of the moments that he was in a bad way, he had plenty of opportunity to do it if he wanted to, and he never did. So by going in there and then doing it straight away, it just does not add up.
A spokesperson for the Ministry of Justice offered their condolences, saying our thoughts remain with the friends and family of Kian Palmy. They added, as with all deaths in custody, the Prison and Probation Ombudsman will investigate. It would be inappropriate to comment further at this stage. Despite an ongoing investigation into Kian's death, his grandmother Lynn Quick says she has little confidence in it giving them the answers they so desperately need.
We want justice for Kian, but we want to help him to protect other people as well. Not for anybody else to have to go through what we are going through, and especially Nicola's mother. It's not right.
Do you believe that he took his own life?
No way.
An inquest into Kian Palmy's death is due to open early next year. The circumstances surrounding his death are not yet known. His family say they will continue to fight until they know the full truth of what led to Kian's death. Dean Thomas Welch, ITV News, Porth.
First Minister Eluned Morgan says it's important to recognise the sacrifice as she led Welsh commemorations for the 80th anniversary of victory over Japan. Well, our correspondent Richard Morgan is at the National Memorial in Cathays Park. Richard, Wales, like the rest of the UK, marking this significant occasion.
Well, indeed, John. All eyes were on the National Memorial Arboretum today, but it was here at Alexandra Gardens in Cardiff where Wales stopped to remember those who gave their lives in the Far East. Very few of those veterans now left, of course, but one of them, former Royal Welsh Fusilier Duncan Hillings, is still with us, and Lewis Rhys-Jones has been to meet him.
An honour to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's not often the First Minister gets the chance to make house calls, but this one is to meet a very important veteran. 99-year-old Duncan Hilling from Saundersfoot served out in India, Japan and Malaya during the Second World War. 80 years on, he remembers those days so vividly.
The atomic bomb was dropped and we had an immediate message that the war had ended. Mountbatten was in charge of us, and he broadcast a speech to all of his troops to thank them for what they'd done and to let them know that within a short while we would be heading for home.
But when victory was declared over Japan, Mr. Hilling didn't go home and instead worked for a year with the occupation force.
We were only 60 miles away from Hiroshima, so we drove there and spent a couple of days walking around the city, or what was left of it. Then it's difficult to believe or explain really, but there would be bridges over the river which were totally destroyed, handrails that had completely melted. There were still bodies lying around where people had died from. It was a hideous scene. But the Japanese people themselves, apart from the troops, were the friendliest people you could ever meet in your life.
Elsewhere today, a remembrance event was held at the National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire, with many veterans in attendance. And the First Minister has paid tribute to the sacrifice of all veterans like Mr. Hilling during the Second World War.
There are still lots of challenges in the world today, and we have to keep on our toes to understand that the threat is always there, perhaps more intensively today than it has been in a long time. But it's thanks to people like Duncan that we are able to enjoy the freedom that we do today.
A lasting legacy that will continue to be marked and remembered by us all forever. Lewis Rhys-Jones, ITV News.
And sadly, Richard, this could well be the last big commemoration with veterans in attendance.
Well, John, I think one veteran acknowledged as much today, saying that he and others probably won't be here for the 90th anniversary, which takes place in just 10 years' time. 10 years' time, of course. And that's why today's event and the ones to mark VE Day back in May have held such a special significance. They've been the last opportunity to stand and remember shoulder to shoulder with those who were actually there. Deputy First Minister Hugh Aranka-Davies, who led the wreath-laying ceremony here in Alexandra Gardens, tried to explain the significance of these events.
So many people from across Wales served in the Asia-Pacific conflict and gave the ultimate sacrifice as well. But also the families who are here today gathered, remembering their relatives. But the importance here today is not only of remembering that sacrifice, but it's also focusing on the messages of peace and reconciliation.
Of course, peace and reconciliation, very much themes that we can relate to today, John. And the other key message that's come out of the last few days has been the need to remember, not just to honour the sacrifices of those who gave their lives, but also to learn from the past so we don't repeat the same mistakes. Perhaps it's fitting to end with the Kohima epitaph, which was recited by Welsh veteran Owen Feiler at the National Memorial Arboretum today. For your tomorrow, we gave our today.
Richard Morgan in Cardiff, thank you very much indeed. Well, time now for the latest sports news.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Cymru Wales Sports Report.
Rugby and Lewis Rhys-Sammit's return from NFL is complete with a move to English club Bristol Bears. With more, Matt's here. And Matt, how much of a boost will this be for Steve Tandy and Wales?
Well, John, it's a huge boost. In fact, Steve Tandy has already said that this is massive for the sport of rugby union, let alone Welsh rugby. There would have been concern in Wales that Rhys-Samit might have ended up at a big spending club in France. That would have complicated things in terms of his availability during international windows, but now we know that Bristol Bears are his chosen club. Just a short hop across the Severn estuary. It's a little bit controversial because Bristol are, of course, big rivals with Gloucester, who nurtured Rhys-Sammit's talents before his stint in the NFL. But it is very convenient from a Welsh perspective, given that Welsh clubs were priced out of the negotiations. It couldn't have worked out any better for Steve Tandy. He'll be a happy man tonight, and there will be plenty of smiles in Bristol this evening.
you know, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very excited to kind of get stuck into things again. You know, I know Bristol Bears got a brilliant fan base as well, so that was one of the big reasons for me joining this massive club, and of course the players are exceptional here, and the coaches as well. So yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind week, and it's one that I'm raring to go.
Sticking with rugby, and this evening Wales's women are on their way to their team base ahead of next week's Rugby World Cup in England. They arrive at the tournament off the back of a difficult 2 years that has included a contract dispute, an independent review and a poor run of form. Now, earlier this year, Sean Lynn arrived as the new head coach, and I went along to catch up with him. Whenever a new coach arrives, it usually means that something has been going wrong. And the last 24 months has certainly been a difficult period for women's rugby in Wales. Earlier this year, Sean Lynn arrived with the national side struggling for both confidence and results.
I just felt the girls had a good buzz about them. And the big thing was I wanted to make sure I made connections and give them a little bit of a feel-good factor.
What was your approach to change? What are your philosophies around implementing change?
There's a time and a place to challenge. I will challenge a player and they can challenge me. But there's a time and there's a place when that happens. And I feel that's the bit where the changes come in, having honest conversations. And I think after the Six Nations, we all had honest conversations as staff, and we all had honest conversations as players. We needed to get fitter, we needed to win collisions, we needed to be better, repeatable. The repeatability in those collisions. The game, the women's game has moved on. And are we moving on with it?
Where do you think it's moved from and to?
Well, you just look at the ball in play, the intensity, and are we training with that accuracy? Are we training with that intensity?
One of the probably most significant things you've done is obviously the change of captaincy, going from Hannah, and obviously we'll go into the World Cup now with Alex Callender and Kate Williams sharing that duty. How difficult was that, and what was the thinking behind it?
I think the professionalism from Hannah Jones and the way she has reacted just is full credit to her. The captaincy just needed that change. And I think deep down sometimes she felt that what happened off the field really she found difficult.
It's a results business, and results have been difficult over the last sort of 24 months really for this group. It means going into this World Cup, there are not a lot of people expecting a great deal from them. How does that make you feel, and how can you use that?
All I've said to the girls is, let's go after a performance. It's something which I want us to be is a hard team to beat, and sides will be wary about this Welsh team are a different beast, and that's what I want. And also general public to say, I enjoy watching this Welsh team.
And you can catch an extended version of our interview over on ITVX. But John, for now, those are your sports headlines.
Matt, thanks very much indeed. Now, the Green Man Festival's underway at the Glanasg estate near Crickhowell. Last night, controversial Irish rappers Kneecap took to the stage at the event, which features music, comedy and literature. Our reporter Mike Griffiths spent the day there and has sent us this report.
It takes a view from the sky to truly understand the scale. Green Man is back, once again a sellout with 25,000 attending. And this is what they've come for. Artists like Adwaith, one of the biggest Welsh bands of the last decade.
We've been very lucky to travel all over the world, and it's definitely shaped our view of the world, and it's shaped our music and what we want to write about. This is our fourth time playing Green Man now.
Yeah, this will be the fourth.
So it does feel like, it's almost in a funny way a tradition, you know, to come back here and to play Green Man, and you see faces that come back and see you every year.
The location is just amazing. It's quite breathtaking. You can't really compare it to any other location in the UK, festival-wise, I don't think.
Others, like Pediants, are playing here for the first time.
It's incredible. We were super nervous before we went on, and all week, and probably like leading up, this like pressure cooker getting bigger, and then We've been rehearsing.
It dissipates once you get on the stage.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
it just
"Hey,
went
I
away.
can
Yeah.
play now." What we do is very layered, and it's partly about building things up and reflecting everything going on in life and, you know, the mountains around us. But it's also about stripping things back and being simple and letting a line of thought or a line of feeling come out amongst that complexity.
Well, as you walk around the site, you can hear a wonderful mix of sounds from the different stages of all kinds of genres. Many people attending here are making a return visit to the festival, but others are here for the very first time.
It's his first festival, so we thought it'd be a good one because it's family friendly, there's loads to do, loads of cool, interesting bands and music and comedy. We like comedy, don't we?
Yeah, we enjoy comedy.
Used to come bring the kids here when they were younger. Now they've grown up and going off doing their own thing. Just a wide range of music as well.
It's lovely, that sort of thing, isn't it? It's community, it's part of society, feeling you're together with somebody.
I think you have to have a very authentic and different experience you can offer to people that people believe in. That's the main thing, because if you don't have that, you don't really have an event. And because it's so competitive now, that unless you can deliver that, then no one's going to go. The attraction with the Green Man is the fact that it could be a lot bigger because we sell out so quickly, but then it would be completely different. We love the curational freedom we have. We love it like it is.
Festival goers will have been hoping for this kind of weather, and with 2 more days to go, there's still much to look forward to.
A reminder of our top story. Thousands of residents in Flintshire remain without water this evening. Work to repair the burst pipe has now been completed, but Welsh Water say it could take until the weekend for everybody's supply to be restored. In the meantime, bottled water stations have been set up across the county. And still to come on the ITV Evening News.
On tonight's evening news, a day of war and peace. The high-stakes summit that could decide the fate of Ukraine. US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin set to meet face-to-face in Alaska. But it falls on the same day as the Forgotten Army is remembered. The UK marks 80 years since the end of the Second World War. And bigging up smaller venues, Coldplay's Chris Martin performs a surprise gig at a pub in West Yorkshire. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
All the latest news on ITVX. Here's how to find us.
On ITVX, you can scan the QR code on your screen now, or head to itvx.com. In the menu, select Categories. Then click News. And then pick your area by tapping Wales. Here you can catch up with the latest Wales at 6, plus exclusive content and all your favourite programmes from ITV Cymru Wales. It's exactly the same process on your smartphone or tablet. And if you have a smart TV, you can find us exactly the same way on the ITVX app.
Well, weather time now. Ruth is in Cowbridge for us this evening in the Vale of Glamorgan. Ruth, will the fine weather last through the weekend?
Simple answer to that, John, is absolutely yes. Gosh, we've made it through a real week of hot, scorching weather, haven't we? And it's now starting to have some impact. I'm here by the River Thor that runs through Cowbridge. Now, admittedly, this isn't usually a raging torrent of water, but even this river is running low. And so much so, Natural Resources Wales have declared a drought conditions for southeastern parts of Wales. What does that mean? Well, OK, water supplies are quite safe at the moment, but we just have to be a little bit careful. Earlier this week on Wales at 6, we heard from farmers who were saying, quite frankly, their crops are struggling because it has been so dry. And I think that's part of the problem, isn't it? It's been so dry for so long. Yes, we had a few showers on Wednesday, but they've had absolutely no impact whatsoever. However, it's not bad news for everyone. As we heard at Green Man, they are really hoping for some decent weather over the next few days. The good news is they're going to get it. In fact, we're not really expecting any rainfall in the forecast until possibly on Monday, but that's going to be for one day only. It's going to be dry then for much of next week. But let's take a little look at all of that in a little more detail.
Midday Mayan temples, followed by sunny afternoons on the sand. TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
Well, it's lovely and warm here in Cowbridge at the moment. As we head through tonight, it'll stay warm with temperatures hovering between 12 and around 15 or 16 in Celsius. Actually, that's pretty comfortable for sleeping, so no trouble here. But we could well see just a little bit of low-lying cloud. No misty, murky conditions, because you'll also notice more in the way of a breeze. And that breeze is northerly. So as we wait to the start of the coming weekend, it could be a little on the blustery side, but for much of Wales, it is going to be bright and beautiful. As the day progresses, wouldn't rule out the possibility of a little bit of high level cloud possibly cropping up into far eastern areas. So for Wrexham, parts of Powys, it could be a disappointing start. But as the day wears on, this will disappear too. And I think we'll head into tomorrow afternoon with almost cloudless skies. But because of that breeze, and it will be a little bit gusty at times, and again it is northerly, that will bring temperatures down, but only ever so slightly. We are still looking at highs of, well, in the mid to high 20s, which again for this time of the year is still several degrees above the average. Possibly though feeling just a little bit fresher if you do catch that breeze. And not surprisingly, we still have high levels of UV, and that's despite any cloud that may bubble up. So if you're heading out Saturday night, then again, it's going to be fine, dry and warm. And then as we head into the second part of the weekend, well, yes, you guessed it, a case of more of the same. So across Wales and actually across much of the UK, we are looking at calm and quiet conditions with decent spells of sunshine and again, highs in the 20s. Now then later into Sunday, though, you will notice the clouds starting to build, and that will work its way into the southwest as we head through Sunday evening and into the start of next week. Now, at the moment, we're keeping an eye on it, but it looks like parts of South Wales will be affected. And again, this could well be good news. There could be some rain in that cloud as we head through the course of the day. Northern areas, though, escaping with a dry and again, warm day.
TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
So if you're heading to Greenman, if you're heading out and about again, it is going to be very, very hot and very, very sunny. Possibility of a little bit of rain to start next week, but not much. And well, quite frankly, there's no sign of this sunny weather ending anytime soon, John.
It looks picture perfect. Ruth, thanks very much. Hannah Thomas will have the late update, but from all of us on the programme, thanks for watching this week.